What's up, guys? This is Justin. We are back with episode 17 of Baseball and Whatever. I got Greg and Vinnie with me. We are here to break down a little bit of the Cubs and Sox trade deadline acquisitions. Vinnie has promised me he will make me feel better about being a Cubs fan tonight. He has done his homework. He's put in some overtime. Vinnie, I have no money to pay you for this overtime, though, so I hope you're okay with that. And then
time and a half you need.
Time and a half, yeah. For this podcast where we make so much money. And then we were talking about counting down our favorite Office episodes. And then Vinnie thought, hey, let's take Greg's Slime 5 countdown that he did where he drew some random Bond movies and ranked them. So we're going to do that with Office episodes that we don't know which ones it's going to be. And we'll talk about them and then rank them and see whose list is the best or whose list is wrong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, Erica told me today or yesterday when we were eating dinner that the dinner party episode is not the best episode of The Office. And I kind of didn't know what she was thinking because I consider that like one of the best episodes of The Office. I don't know about you guys.
It's up there. It was on my top 5 list.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't the best. There's an obvious best one that has probably the 2 most funniest scenes in all of TV sitcom, which would be the stress relief.
Yeah.
That's what she said was stress relief. And I like to think because it was right before we started dating that we were talking while that episode was on TV. So I think it was me more than anything, but you know.
Yeah. I actually think it's like a 1A and 1B for me, guys. I have trouble with those, but I think stress relief for me just edges it out. Nothing against dinner party because it's just fantastic.
The awkwardness they go.
And it is kind of unfair too because the stress relief is a two-part.
Yeah, it's a very long
two-parter. It was during one of the Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, the fire, the CPR training, and then the roast of Michael Scott.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, roasted. We'll get to Slime 5 later. I think it'd be fun to do it like reoccurring, guys. Like we'll revisit it and we'll introduce more seasons and everything. But I'll get into details with that later. Did you want to get to listener reaction?
Yeah. If you guys have any listener reactions, comments, emails, you can send them to us at baseballwhatever@gmail.com. Tweet us at baseballandwhat. Or comment on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/baseball and whatever. Damn it. I always mess up something no matter what I do on those 3.
No, you're fine.
All right.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Well, without further ado, Greg, take it away. Do we have any listener comments?
Yeah. He's like our guy now. Chris writes in just with a little bit of thoughts on the White Sox moves here. So Chris writes in. His first comment, Chris writes, I love the moves to get Hernandez and Kimbrel. As much as I liked Madrigal, he can't help this season, and Hernandez is slightly better defensively. He does have a nice glove. It's a move that may bite us down the road, probably. But you're in the World Series now spot, and Kimbrel gives us the strongest back end of the bullpen in the entire MLB. Yeah, I agree with that. That bullpen is looking pretty scary as long as he doesn't revert back to old Cubs Craig Kimbrel.
Yeah, right.
A year ago.
Season,
it is kind of spooky a little bit, but nothing we've seen this year so far. So Chris with the second comment goes, Tepera, I am not thrilled about. Coming off an injury, but he also didn't cost much. Really wish the Sox would have made a play for Jacob Stallings, Pittsburgh, or Luis Torrens in Seattle, as I feel catcher is a must-need spot given offensive ability of Sebi Zavala, disregarding the 3 home run game. Okay, had to get that one in there. The other night, and Collins inept defensively. Yeah, you're right. Collins is kind of bad. And Zavala the day before, 3 home run was taken out in the middle of an at-bat by Tony. Thanks for embarrassing me, Tony La Russa. But that's you're on the right track there, Chris. So you don't see a guy get taken out of an at-bat, in the middle of an at-bat.
In the middle of the at-bat,
for another bad hitter. So
not a good look.
Yeah, guy, you know what? Okay, I know I was texting you, Justin, with the Tepera debut for the White Sox. wasn't
Yikes.
so pretty.
Not great.
And he's been fine, ever since then. But there was another goofy Tony antic too when Ethan Katz went out there to calm him down, and then Tony made a bullpen change without telling Ethan Katz. So Ethan Katz thinking the umpire's taking Tepera out of the game.
Right.
But no, Tony actually he just didn't tell anyone. So that was all kind of weird after like 2 batters or whatever, giving up that bomb to Reyes or something. But you know what? He's been okay. So I do like the move. Any bullpen help, I'll definitely take.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, you can't have enough bullpen arms in the playoffs, right? I mean,
yeah. And we gave up Bailey Horn from. I didn't even know who he is, but it's a name I'll definitely remember. So if Tepera can help us, and if Mr. Horn can help out the Cubs in the future, everyone's a winner. So then we have, should the Sox have gotten an impact bat at the deadline? Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. That's all I said. This team is good enough.
I wrote that when they were like not scoring any runs.
You know what? And that's a good point because, okay, so this is who we have coming back this week. We have Robert coming back and we have Grandal coming back. This team right now, no, it still cannot hit very well. But this team, I still have confidence in this team, with this pitching now. I believe this team can win the World Series with the team we have.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that we can make a good run and no one really scares me right now. The only thing that's making me nervous is the bat.
Sure.
Hitting. The hitting right now. The hitting right now isn't great. And I know they were getting shut out early by the Royals tonight. I haven't checked the score recently, but it is kind of a thing to think about. So we need the bats to get hot. Because that's going to help the pitching out a lot because they're really keeping us afloat this whole season, if you think about it. So
it's 8-1 right now. Casey.
8-1 Royals.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's bullshit. Why are we losing to the Royals? You just traded away.
I did see
Giolito has struggled.
Even
He's missing the sticky stuff. But
I put up a trade offer to somebody that on the Sox that from the fans on Twitter that wanted to get rid of Giolito. I said, "How about J.K. Arrieta?" And they said, "Throw in Alex Mills, and we got a deal." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, God, person makes.
I'll take that.
If you're listening, person, you've made me sick. Oh, for Giolito, that would kill me. If Giolito was a Cub, that would absolutely kill me. I love Lucas Giolito. I know he's struggling, but oh my God, for Arrieta and Mills, no thanks. Twitter Sox fan, could get yourself some help, please.
I did see though that it was pretty funny. Even the Royals Twitter was kind of throwing some shade at the Sox. They said one of the home runs tonight hit the foul pole, and banked in. Yeah. And they said, "Oh, look, it's a Cody Parkey home run." I'm like, "Oh man, that talk about
wow."
Yeah, I'm like, man, you're just you're the Royals.
Had to open up that wound again. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
that hurts even Cub fans.
Yeah, that hurts everyone.
The double doink that will live in infamy.
Jeez, but your message to the White Sox: let's win the fucking World Series. We can do it. Get your shit together and let's do this thing. Because no one out there scares us. Lance Lynn, lead the way. Guys, something scary that
Tony Rizzo on the Yankees doesn't scare you?
He does, yeah.
No, the Yankees do not scare me. I don't believe in the Yankees, man. No, they crash and burn. You know what? I found out today, though, guys. That's a little alarming. Not alarming. It's just kind of like interesting. All of Lance Lynn's success this year has come across below 500 teams, and he's had 3 games against above, I want to say above 500, above average teams, I suppose. Maybe just like contending teams. Let's put it in quotes right there.
Sure.
That he's had, I guess what you could label quality starts as, but definitely not as dominant. I know he gets rocked by the Astros occasionally too, a team we might see.
Yeah.
So I heard that today. I was just like, ooh, that's a little
scary.
But we'll see, because he's like pretty much our ace right now, him and Rodon, I suppose. But we'll see how that translates when we do because when we do go to the postseason, everyone's going to be pretty good. So
yeah,
you guys clinched the division though on
yesterday, right?
Bat flip, right?
The bat flip. Oh yeah, that was like a great. That how high did that thing go, man?
Did you see that tweet from Bob?
He
Nightingale?
launched that thing.
Did you see that one?
No.
The tweet.
Yeah.
Well,
what did he say?
I think I did see, but I can't remember what it said.
He was being sarcastic. He goes, "Oh, with that bat flip, the White Sox, like it was something sarcastic because the bat flip was so epic." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, they must have clinched the division." It's like, well, no, he had a walk-off home run. It's not like he hit a home run in the first inning.
God forbid you have fun when you do so good.
Yeah. You win the game,
especially
and you have like a good bat flip, like
especially a guy that might be the odd man out.
Let him enjoy it.
And that would be sad, but you got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. So, not too much else for me on the White Sox guys. Did you have anything else, Vinny or Justin?
I was surprised with a lot of the White Sox fans turning on Nicky 2 strikes.
Nicky Bats? Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. Also, I did like his batting average was like 348 or something like that with 2 strikes, and he leads all of MLB over the past two years with that.
Vinny, I'm glad you brought that up because listening to the radio and looking on Twitter prior to the deadline, I saw a lot of when Nicky comes back next year, possible batting title champion, and all these good things, and then he got traded to the Cubs, and they're like, oh. He wasn't that good. We didn't need him. He's not going to matter. Like you said, it was like someone flipped a switch. Like all of a sudden, it was like, oh well, he's a Cub. We don't need him. You know what I mean? So.
That is very true because then they're saying he was overdrafted, which he kind of was. Yeah, because even when he was a White Sox. But if we're gonna get into this, I mean, yes, like me personally, you guys know me earlier. I was ragging on Nicky Bats because he was stinking. He sucked.
Yeah.
Now he was really good before he got hurt there. Guys, as Cubs fans, I'm like super happy for you guys because I'm kind of excited he's still in Chicago too, even though he's on the other team. But sure. I like the player a lot. And I think the Cubs, I think I said it on the last podcast, I think the Cubs could use a contact guy like that. If there's guys on base, he's not going to strike out guys. No. Very rarely will he strike out. So he'll put the ball in play for you, which I think is huge,
And I think they have him,
guy like that.
They have his control over his rights for like another 5 or 6 years,
for a long time. Him and Hoyer. You guys got club control for a long time with him. So a couple pieces for you.
So then they can mess it up and not re-sign him in 6 years. It'll be perfect.
Settle down, Justin. Settle down.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
By the way, when Lance Lynn yelled out "fucking slapdick motherfucker," he was really talking about Nick Madrigal because he just doesn't like that type of hitter. So there you go, little pesty guy. He's gonna look good for you guys at second base, right? He can play shortstop. Also, he'll probably play second base for you guys because you guys need a second baseman. But
I heard Ryan Theriot 2.0 is what he is, but a better version of Ryan Theriot.
He's going to be better than Ryan Theriot.
Okay, then I liked Ryan Theriot.
I did. I love. The Riot was awesome. The Riot. He's going to be better.
I even liked Darwin Barney though, so I don't know what that says about
Gold Glover, Darwin Barney.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So I saw a Sox fan on Twitter did compare him. He said his floor is Ichiro and his ceiling is Altuve. And I was just like, I don't believe that.
Wow.
Ooh,
that'd be great, but
damn, then I'm bummed we gave him up.
Yeah, right.
Case. Woo.
Does that mean he needs a radio in his ear and a vibrate thing on his chest? Or I don't know what that means.
Bad tattoo.
Bad tattoo.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, the only other thing I want to say about the Sox, this is my new favorite GIF, is the GIF of Tony La Russa running to the home plate when he went. I think, did he get thrown out that game or did he just go out to argue?
He did not.
Argue?
No, he went out to protect Abreu.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Abreu got hit in the head and then stayed in the game. I was shocked he stayed in the game. I really thought
that's Abreu, man. He just he's just a beast out there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be taken out. And with Tony like that, I mean, they're pitching Abreu, up and in again, even though he's got hit. And that guy barely had control. So I think that was just Tony. Yeah. Even when Roberto Perez went to go check out him, he wasn't just telling him to back off away from his guy saying, hey, you're just pitching my guy inside, what are you thinking or whatever. So I like that because Tony's standing up for his guys. He's alive.
That's nice to see.
He's awake. He's getting fiery. He's gotten fiery a couple times this past month right here, which has been nice. And that the run, like you said, guys.
Oh, it was great.
It's priceless.
I could keep watching
absolutely
that.
priceless.
Somebody must be putting like uppers in his Metamucil or something. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a lot of energy lately. It's kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, I think you know what, we might be seeing like the resurgence of like postseason Tony right here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, this is what the man lives for. So that's why he's here, to take us to the promised land. So now I think he's starting to turn up the gears a little bit, and you know, he still looks like a mess out there. You're like, ooh, but he's it's just kind of nice to see him. You know, that he's paying attention, and he's getting it going here. So
yeah. All right, very good. Well, I mean, I guess if we have no extra Sox stuff to talk about, we can break down the Cubs.
Let's do it.
We do have two people wrote in about the Cubs moves. The first one is from Mustafa, who is the goalie on the ice hockey team I occasionally play on. I just want to throw out the last week I subbed and we won. So, you know, at age
there you go. There you go. The key.
Scored a goal and everything. So
wow.
Sorry, I don't like to toot my own horn, but
dude, hey, you know, you don't have much time left, Justin.
No, I
so
don't.
You gotta on the ice. I mean, just on the ice.
Yeah.
But
in general too, probably.
Right, we're all just a ticking clock right here,
yep.
I guess. So
yeah.
No, anytime you do it, you gotta
publicize it. Well, Mustafa, or Moose is what we call him. He is our goalie.
Moose.
He's the only Pakistani hockey player I ever met. He's one of my favorites. He said this was an emotional toll on my soul this week. Sarcastically, I look forward to the offseason in which we don't re-sign any of them. We are looking at several years of rebuilding. And we can talk, I know we're going to break down a little bit. We can get into his thoughts on that. And then even also, which is even super exciting, is my own mother wrote in to talk about the Cubs, which was shocking. She said she can't believe Rizzo and Brian are both gone. They were such an intricate part of the 2016 World Series team. And I think that's something we can all agree on is, you know, they were such a big part of that team, and that 2016 team was just historic offensively and especially defensively.
Yep.
And then after 2016, you never saw it again. Like it was just gone. You know what I mean? And I think that's the hard thing I'm having trouble is separating that win and then the rest of the season in general. So where do we want to start? Vinny, do you want to start us off, or how do we want to start this dissecting the Cubs moves?
Yeah. Okay. Let me start off, I guess, with gosh, I don't know where to start. Greg, do you have a place where you want to start?
Can we start? Well, let's start off with the first guy to go, which was let's start with Anthony Rizzo. Is that what you want to? Are we talking about the trades, or what do we?
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I guess you can talk about the players and the trades, and then we can.
Because Rizzo got traded
to cheer Justin up
like a couple hours before we recorded the last podcast.
Right. I'm sorry, Justin. Did you want to talk about the World Series? I'm sorry. I didn't know which way you wanted to go here.
I think that's the thing. There's so many different ways to go, and I think now that it's been a few days, I was telling Vinny before we recorded, like I was so frustrated. And then I kind of took a step back and I was like, all right, well, I knew these guys were going to get traded. It was inevitable. I think as soon as they traded Darvish in the beginning of the season and got nothing back, and it was clear it was a salary dump, you knew where this was going, right? In the facts, Vinny, go ahead.
Hold on. Since you brought that up.
Yes.
Now, Owen Cassie, one of the four players
that they got.
Yep. Is leading the ACL with an OPS of 1.2.
I like that.
Something. Okay. Which is, I think, the next highest OPS. The second ranked is 1.12 maybe. So he is hitting. He was the best player, I think, in that group. Damn. I know there's at least one or two other guys that are performing in there. Don't know their stats offhand, but looking at Darvish, since they instituted the MLB came out with the foreign substances.
Yeah.
You guys happen to know what his ERA is?
No, I
don't think it's good.
No,
it's good. Yeah, I don't know.
No, he's John Lester bad. He's got a 5.3 ERA after they came out. Since it was Tuesday they instituted. They came out with the memo, and then they gave them like the grace period till like the 21st. I think it was when they started doing that. But since the was like June 8th or something like that. Looking at his stats from June 9th till July 31st, I think was his last start. He has a 5.3 ERA.
Okay.
So
You might be.
It's not
is
surprising
one
with a
thing.
guy that throws that many pitches,
Yeah.
to get him to move like that. Can't say
Yeah.
I'm all surprised, I suppose, but that
Yeah.
is very glaring though. That is like, ooh,
Yeah.
know.
Well,
That is, yeah. So, and before that, he was at a 2.29 ERA.
that's a huge.
Yeah,
difference.
he's
I
an
mean, that's a
all-star,
big
yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
huge. I mean,
Yep.
you don't see that variance in one season
No.
usually, right? I mean, so like, so for me, knowing these guys were coming and starting to kind of research a little bit, which I know Vinny's going to talk more about, just the trades in general, but I am very happy now that it seems like Jed Hoyer is kind of pushing for this contact heavy lineup now, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong. I love home runs. All right. It's great. But when your team is either home run, strikeout, and you can't bring anybody in that walked and got on base, you're going to run into problems, right? I mean, this has been the problem since 2017. So at least now they're kind of course correcting. Now, are they over course correcting? That, we'll see if they have a full lineup of just all line drive hitters. Who knows if that'll work, but I don't think you're going to. You're always going to have power guys too. But so that's exciting. I do like the idea of having Nick Madrigal and Nico Horner playing shortstop. Hopefully, for the next 3 or 4 seasons at least. I think that would be a good tandem. Hopefully. So I mean, I'm
2 seasons, and then Ed Howard will be up.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Should
true.
be.
And is it Brennan Davis? Is he another one that is supposedly really
He's
high?
outfielder.
Outfielder.
Yep, he should be getting at bats this year because he's just killing
He's
it.
their number 2, right?
Yeah. So
Prospect, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's number 1 now. He's ahead of.
That was number 1.
So
he was 2 starting the season, but he's 1 now.
He's one now.
now.
I mean, from what I've seen on Twitter, he is just killing it, which is crazy. So I mean, I think the next piece though that gets even more interesting is then you have, Jed Hoyer making the rounds. I don't know if he was trying to do damage control. I really don't know what his goal was going on ESPN 1000 and then 670 The Score, because you knew these questions were coming, right? Like, what do you think the rationale was to have? I mean, obviously he's got to get out and talk because you can't just hide. He's not Ryan Pace. He can't hide and not answer questions like Ryan Pace does. But sorry, I had to get that jab in. So like, I don't know, like what do you think the organization's goal was to have him do these media bouts, so to speak, and then things kind of turned on him a little bit after that as well?
Honestly, I think he was kind of trying to defend himself.
Yes.
From because I mean, everybody was up in our. How can you trade these guys? They were being cheap. They didn't offer him fair market value, and he went on and said, we think these contracts that we offered them,
they will be historically,
everything that these will hold up when they go to market.
Yeah.
If they do, they do. If not, that's something I guess I can maybe talk about now. I know Rizzo said that his comments rebuttaling that were, well, there's a common denominator in all of that, and no one's signed. Yeah, no one signed. Well, I get that, and maybe the common denominator is they all think that they're worth more than they actually are.
Right.
And Greg, I have to say, upon our debate about Kyle Schwarber, which I will admit I'm somewhat walking that back. I still think I don't think he's bad for a power guy. I think he's more average for a power guy.
I would say I would agree with that.
At least during his time with the Cubs. Now he's also someone that has benefited from the foreign substances since that's been instituted. He went on that tear on the home run. So again, maybe he was the victim of foreign substances. But when I was looking at just some of the things on, I think first basemen who are coming to free agency.
Sure.
I think Freddie Freeman's probably the number 1.
Okay.
Anthony Rizzo looks like he's probably the number 2 because there's like Travis Shaw and a couple other guys out there. It's like,
no thanks.
But I stumbled upon this website called Spot Track, SPOTRAC.com, which gives you players and they actually calculate their market value.
That's
so
awesome.
They take certain amount. They take 1, 2, 3, 4 players based on their age, contract status, and statistical production to a player, and then they kind of use their salaries and kind of their home runs per games, RBIs per games, strikeouts per games, OPS and WAR, and compare them to said player. And so we know what Rizzo's was. His offer, what it was leaked, he was getting 5 years, 70 million was the offer supposedly offered.
Now, and that was offered at the beginning of the year this year? Do we remember?
Beginning of the year. Yep. And so this Spot Track has his market value as 5 years, 64 million some odd dollars, but 64 million. So 5 years, 64 million.
Sure.
So they weren't, and again, this is, I don't know what players, Jed's taking and comparing, or what Rizzo's agents are taking and comparing. Rizzo said he wanted Goldschmidt's salary.
Which I'm sorry, I love Rizzo, but he's not going to get that.
Yeah, but I think this is, they compare players.
That seems pretty comparable, yeah.
And the players that they're comparing Rizzo to is Michael Brantley, DJ LeMahieu, Didi Gregorius, and Mike Moustakas. And, he's statistically not putting up the numbers that those guys put up. And they don't play necessarily the same position. Brantley's an outfielder, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
But this is the type of stuff that, I'm assuming Jed and the front office are using to try to calculate his value. So 5 years, 64 million, 5 years, 70 million. They actually were technically
spot
above.
on. Yeah.
Yep. And looking at Baez, what he wanted 200 million. They offered.
No, thank you.
What did the Cubs offer again?
For Baez or Rizzo?
For Baez,
it was 100. It was the dollar amount was reported, not the. I couldn't find anything on the terms.
Yeah,
but 160 to 180 million. That was John Heyman that reported that. No years were stated, but Javier Baez is on Spot Track 6 years, 130 million. I'll round up 130 million. So 6 years, 130 million, and they were in the 160, 180 range. Again, that's above market.
Yeah. Especially after this season too, because he hasn't had that great of a season either.
Well, he's been better.
He's been better lately.
recently.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a prediction here, guys. I'm thinking he doesn't break 115 this.
You don't think so?
You don't think so?
I don't think it's gonna happen. No.
You don't think the Mets will overpay for him?
You know what? I think they'll try to give him that, extension, but I just with the flaws that we've seen and
he's been exposed
the strikeouts,
bit.
and that low on base, that high strikeout, like constantly with that huge swing. I'm not sure, especially with this shortstop market. I mean, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be some table setters, obviously, but I don't know if I'm seeing it now, to be perfectly honest. So
I agree. And then last but not least, Chris Bryant. There was nothing leaked on.
No.
So I'm that also makes me curious.
I can't figure his out. Yeah.
Who is leaking? So was it their agents leaking it to the media, and Scott Boras is smart enough not to.
Yeah. I was gonna say
to do that. But Spot Track, surprisingly, I was kind of surprised on this. 6 years, $138 million would be his market value, and the players they had, they were comparing him to is Mike Moustakas, Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado, and Anthony Rendon, and they were comparing them through different seasons. Like Mike Moustakas was his Cincinnati 18 to 19 season. Manny Machado's was 17 to 18 San Diego. Nolan Arenado 17 to 18. So it must have been when around their age. It was when they were looking at.
I don't remember Mike Moustakas having that great a season with. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't remember it. But I mean, he's there. If he did, he did. But it was like,
Anthony Rendon 18 to 19 LA season.
Yeah.
And they compared, and so what they do is they add up their hits per game, RBIs per game, strikeouts per game for those comparable players and average them out. So with those guys averaged, Chris Bryant's hits per game 0.91, and the average of those four players 1.1. So he's less than those guys.
Shit.
Games, percent of games played. I thought this was interesting. 93.3 for the average. Chris Bryant 76.82. RBIs per game 0.7. Chris Bryant 0.49. And this is a 2020-2021. So 2020 is probably weighing that down.
Sure.
A bit, but strikeouts per game 0.67 for the average. Chris Bryant 1.03. Batting average 0.29, and Chris Bryant 0.249. So he's lower than everything. And then OPS is 0.89 for the average, and Chris Bryant 0.782. So this is the type of stuff that Jed Hoyer has. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, guys, I'm sorry. I had oh, wow. Can we go back and reverse that? Yeah, I had the base calculated value on the salaries wrong, but let's see here. Oh wait, let me see. Nope, never mind. I'm okay. I was looking at something else. So
you got it right, folks.
Yeah, I got it right.
that. Wow, Vinny, thank you for finding that, because that totally puts it in a different mindset. And I think too, just to kind of tie back into what Hoyer's comments were, I pulled them up while you were reading those. His exact comment was, this was one of the interviews he did that morning. This was the one with ESPN Chicago. I think it was with David Kaplan and Jay Hood. He said, I don't know why guys didn't want to sign. I don't know why guys didn't want to even counteroffer. Oftentimes, every one of these guys would say they wanted to stay in Chicago. We would sit down and do negotiations, and that wasn't how they acted. So, I mean, kind of not, I don't want to say he's burning bridges, but just kind of really being, would you say he's being defensive a little bit? Just trying to defend his point of view, kind of, I guess. I don't know.
Jed Hoyer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean
and then,
if you think about it, that's exactly what he's doing there.
Yeah. And then you have, Rizzo, and I thought this was pretty funny, is then, was it yesterday morning, they had Rizzo on the same station and they played Hoyer's comments for Rizzo, which makes for great radio. And he said, why say that? Whoop, my phone just turned off. Why say that? Sounds like a bad breakup. And the person saying that they're fine when they're not fine. I think it can speak for itself that there's a common denominator that no one signed. So I know Rizzo also went on to say that he has no bad blood and that, he wishes them well. And he appreciates everything that the Cubs did for him and, blah, 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 all the good PR moves he could say. But yeah, I think if there was another question, and I can't remember if it was on the Score interview or the ESPN interview, but they kind of asked Hoyer, are you kind of glad that they didn't take those offers you offered in the beginning, a couple of years ago? Because I mean, really their market value clearly is evidenced by Vinnie. Their market value has dropped, and so, and he wouldn't answer because I don't think he wants to say, oh yeah, because that would have been, we're glad we would have been screwed if they took those offers, but I mean, it's true. So when you take that all into account, I do feel better. At the same time, I wish they could have at least re-signed Bryant, but I think out of all of them, he had the slightest chance of coming back. I think as soon as they did the service time stuff when he came up, I think that sealed his fate right there, right? I mean, like, I think that was kind of in the works for that whole time.
He just seems like the kind of player too. I mean, with the agent and everything that would want to test the free agent market, just to see his value and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a little, I mean, yeah, if they sign, I mean, I would go far as say is they probably escaped the Baez thing. Yeah. If they gave Bryant a contract, maybe I don't know what the offer was. That could have been, maybe that could have been just fine depending on what he gets in this free agency. Rizzo, right. Does a lot for you on and off the field, but Baez is the outlier with me on that one.
Yeah.
I think Bryant had the. Did you guys hear the interview Bryant did with someone?
About with the Giants?
With the Giants, yeah. He actually said he actually had nice things to say about Jed and everything.
Yeah, he did.
How he kind of, because, I know, I don't know word for word exactly, but Rizzo's an East Coast guy.
Yep.
And he said, I mean, this could all be like coincidence.
I did hear that interview as well, Greg.
Right. Rizzo went out east.
I think he's got family in New York.
Yeah, he's got family there. Yep. Bryant's near Vegas. Now he's on the West Coast. And
Baez got to go with his best friend.
Right. Yep. And Craig Kimbrell stays in town because he's got a daughter who's ill. So
which
he doesn't have to move away from her. So maybe he did a little something extra for these guys to make it happen. I don't know. I mean,
I think you're right.
If that's the case, I think that is. I think that is a good job for Jed right
now.
Yeah, we're human beings too, and a massive sell off for a project that didn't end as expected. Let's just say that. If that's true, I mean that I do like that.
I think for me the next thing, the only thing that's got me in the way of being this is a good. These moves were good. I'm happy. I'm now that we've kind of talked about it, I feel better about the moves. The thing that worries me is okay, the offseason comes. Are we going to just scrape the bottom of the barrel and find guys to plug holes that really have no business being in the majors? Or are you going to try and offer competitive contracts to at least put a competitive team on the field next season? That's my concern.
They should be competitive. And if they're not, then you get upset. That's where I'm holding my anger against the Ricketts and everybody till the free agency. But even Jed just came out yesterday and said he can't reveal his plan because of the CBA. Which makes sense. You don't know what's going to happen. And I that's something I kind of want to ask you guys. Like guys like Trout and everything sign these big contracts. What if they institute a salary cap? I doubt that's ever going to happen in baseball. But what if they institute a salary cap? Are they retroactively not like taking a hit against the cap?
That's a good question, Vinny.
What if that would take an effect, for future contracts in place?
Okay.
That are signed upon that date, everything before that date would be, before the new CBA is agreed upon would be okay. But anything after that, there would be a cap of, I don't know, I'm not.
I'm trying to think like, I know the one of many lockouts and CBA issues the NHL has had is when, 0405, when they lost the whole season, they came back with the salary cap. I can't remember how they handled it then, but contracts were still relatively small. But I know the last lockout, when they came back, the cap was readjusted and they said, okay, you have so many compliance buyouts. So if you have a contract that there's no way you can afford, you can buy that person out with no penalty and then they become a free agent. So I could see that.
That's interesting.
The NHL usually doesn't get things right though. So I don't know if that's the way to go, but that's one way you could do it. So
I had a question for you guys. I had a 2-part question. Is this free agency? Do you get your shortstop this free agency locked up, like your future shortstop?
You talking like Nico?
I'm talking about like a free agent shortstop.
Oh,
Nico's not going to play shortstop. He doesn't have the arm for it, from what I've been reading.
Okay.
So
right.
But you could. I don't know how. It depends on what they think about Ed Howard. Do you maybe get how far along is he? Because if he's only 2 years out, maybe you only do 2 years. You get the middle of the road kind of guy. You're hoping to high ceiling type of player that you hope can catch the magic or something like that. I mean, they have 50. Their payroll next year is $51 million.
They have
to spend. Yeah. I mean, the luxury tax is going to probably be around over 200, probably 210.
And they're not going to come anywhere near that, I would think, right?
No, I mean they have been close, but in the past years.
And I think the other thing too is you need a at least a serviceable center fielder too. Is that I know
I've heard Nico's name.
Okay.
I know they want to try him in center field.
Maybe they'll bring Ortega.
Ortega
around.
Hasn't been
what
bad.
A story this guy has.
Yeah.
He's been around a lot longer than people think. So trying to break through. So
I was going to say real quickly, Justin, I got some numbers for you.
Okay.
148, 143, 200, and 63. Do you know what those are?
I was going to say games played, but I know that's not the case. I'm going to say hits.
No.
That's a slash line.
That's close.
Oh.
It's the first part of the slash line. It's the batting average of the 3 players we traded that everybody's up in arms about during the playoffs since 2017.
Wow.
Ooh.
Holy cow.
I actually thought when you read that, I thought it was in half stats, but
no, you would think that. No. So it's going back to the 27 NLDS where they limped through and won. That was their last time they ever won a playoff game. Yes, that's their slash line. So they're not good in the playoffs. Everybody wants to rave about, we won this many.
It was
games
one and done.
In the regular season. It's like, well, yeah, but they weren't producing in the playoffs when it matters the most.
No, I want to see it in different lineups this year now, though. I'm kind of excited to see like these guys will be in different lineups. Well, I mean, maybe we'll see if the Yankees break through or whatever. Mets and Giants should make it. I want to see how that. how that translates with a new with a change of scenery. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
but you're right. I'm like that's a little scary for your quote unquote core right there.
12 RBIs too from the 3 of them.
Vinny, I think you nailed it the best after all this is that you give them the benefit of the doubt for what they did, what they acquired. But like you said, if Ricketts doesn't open the purse strings, and we're not asking for an all-star team, it doesn't have to be like the Yankees of like the late 90s. It just put a serviceable team out, a competitive team next season that could maybe challenge for a wild card. And I'm good with that. And then wait for the rest of the prospects. But if you do this bullshit 2012, 2013, where it's guys that have no business being there. That's where I think, like you said, that's where I think I'm going to get more upset then. Cause now I kind of feel better about everything as a whole. So well done. Well done.
All right. I got two potential free agents for you guys. If you guys have any interest in them whatsoever.
Okay.
I got Max Scherzer.
No, I'm gonna say too old and wants too much.
I would say.
How old is he?
36, right?
36.
Oh.
30. I don't know.
I mean, he's
if
good.
The price is right. If the price is right.
If his regression is still better than most pitchers.
That's true.
Yeah. You never
That's
know.
true.
Better than Alex Mills, right?
I would.
Be Giolito. Because Alex Mills is better than Giolito.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that no hitter of his was much better, anyways. So,
yeah.
A name down the line. I know he's got a player option. I think for 22 or 23. But I was looking at potential shortstop, future Cubs possible shortstops.
Sure.
I know I said Trevor Story before.
Yeah.
What if down the line, let's say your rookie, if he doesn't, show the stuff, I forget the guy's name.
Ed Howard.
I know he's got a player option. What about Xander Bogaerts? He'll be like 30 or 30. I think he'll be 30 in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think I would do that. He plays third base too, doesn't he?
He plays third and he plays short, and he's really freaking good.
I think I would. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
That would be a guy.
One last question before I know we got to move on because it's getting late. But would you guys bring back Patrick Wisdom next year?
Yes,
I would do that too.
Why not?
I mean, I was kind of surprised. His strikeout rate is like he's gotten it down to like 30 something percent. I think I didn't realize it was that high. But I mean, I think for somebody to step in and play fairly well, and maybe, next season the wheels fall off and maybe he regresses back to the reason why he hasn't been a perennial superstar, I guess, so to speak. But I would take him again.
He's got all 3 runs driven in tonight.
Yeah, which is saying something considering the offense they have now.
He's been solid. He's been a fun player.
He has.
All right. I got, if really quick, guys, I got 2 thoughts on the prospects you got returned. I have a prediction that the Yankees guy you got back, Vizcaíno, the pitcher.
Yes.
He's going to be the first. He's going to be the first guy you see up on the big league club. And I got a little homework for you guys. Is it Alexander Canario that that they got back for Chris Bryant? I think he's one of the outfielders.
Yes.
I want you guys to look at. I've been watching him on YouTube a little bit. I'm watching some of his highlights.
Okay.
Watch his at bats. And tell me what you see. Tell me who he reminds you of. Tell me what that swing reminds you of.
All right.
Because with him, I'm going to predict there is. I mean, I don't want to say high risk maybe because he's a rental, prospect return.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be high reward with this guy here. If I mean, this could be. I mean, it could be like they use the term boom or bust.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching a lot of his highlights because I like, I kind of like seeing what these guys. Because
I've never call that a Mike Olds.
Right. We never heard him of like this. Like look at his swing and tell me what you see next time.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's a bunch of other guys too, but I've been kind of looking at those two guys and the Marisnik guy you brought up, Vinny.
Yeah,
I wasn't even paying attention to that.
No, I was shocked that they moved him. To be honest, I thought they would need a body to play center field. But
guy off of second TJ they got in return that really hasn't pitched professionally that much. Now that you're deep diving into it, hey, why not for a fourth outfielder, dude?
Yeah, do it.
Yep.
Well done.
And he actually pitched well. I think tonight he pitched.
Okay.
I think Espinoza or what?
Yeah. Anderson Espinoza.
Yep.
He
just pitched tonight.
Oh, did he really? He's on the club.
He pitched.
Yeah.
No, not for the Cubs.
Oh, not for the Cubs. Oh, okay.
No, in the minors he pitched.
Oh,
Pitched pretty well.
Gotcha.
Someone posted something on Twitter about him.
That's another one. That one I like. That's a cool move by Jed Hoyer.
Yeah.
Right there. Like that's something cool right there.
Well, they went from the 23rd ranked farm system to like the top 10 in baseball.
Yeah.
in one deadline.
Yeah,
That's
how
not
about
bad.
that?
No.
Well, real quick, so we can get to the office discussion. I just figured we'd run through the standings now that we're past the deadline. In the AL East, we got the Rays are in first. The Red Sox are a game and a half back, and the Yankees are 6 back with Rizzo leading the charge. White Sox have a commanding lead in the AL Central. They are 10 games ahead of the Indians. I do not think anyone else will be coming out of the Central Division because it looks like everyone's kind of falling apart besides the White Sox. And in the West, we probably got one of the best races. In the AL West, we got the Astros, and then the A's are 5 back, and the Mariners are 8 back, hanging in there. But good old Jerry DiPoto did not do a single thing. I don't know what that guy's looking.
Still hanging around, man.
I talked to a few Mariners fans on Twitter, and one of them was like, "Oh yeah, I made a Harry DiPoto account where I just make all these random trades because this guy doesn't know what he's doing." I'm like, okay, fair enough. In the NL East, the Mets are in first. The Phillies are a game out, and then the Braves are 2.5 out. Oddly enough, the Mets are under 500 and only 2.5 back, which is kind of interesting. The Brewers are in first in the Central. The Reds are 7.5 back there. We'll see if they keep pushing along. And then in the NL West, we have Chris Bryant's Giants in first. The Dodgers are 3.5 back, and the Padres are 6.5 back.
Can you imagine Dodgers Padres wild card game?
Wow.
Holy shit.
Go somebody's got to take down the Dodgers. I can't stand them.
Right.
All right.
I hope the Giants hold for Chris.
Yeah,
room
for Chris Bryant's sake.
Yeah, room for Chris.
Hoping something good will come to him.
I'm actually thinking about getting a Chris Bryant shirt. I've always wanted one, but I couldn't wear. I could never come to wear a Cubs shirt. So
you're
now's
gonna
your chance.
So
I would say either get a Giants one or wait until the offseason, see where he goes.
See where he goes. I do like
back to the
I
Cubs.
like the Giants colors,
orange and black.
You know,
Yeah,
might be my only shot. So if he goes back to the Cubs, so.
That's true. That's true. Oh, Greg, that's not happening. Who are you kidding?
Come on, Justin. I thought you were happy now, Justin.
Oh, I'm more,
cheering you up.
I'm a better optimistic Cubs fan right now, but I'm also a realist too. There's a difference.
Too pretty out by the bay right there right now.
Oh,
so to
yeah,
come back to Chicago. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we are going to shift gears. We are going to do our Slimed 5 that we stole from Greg Slimed.
Are we doing consider them slimed combo baseball and whatever?
Right,
man. I don't know what theme music to use now.
Worlds colliding right here.
Oh gosh.
So if you guys weren't listening earlier, Greg is going to pull 5 random episodes that he put in his hat. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's in a mug this time.
Well, it's in a mug. And if you don't remember the rules on slime, we draw the slime 5 out of the 2005 World Series champion hats right there, Chicago White Sox. So whenever you guys are ready. So what we're going to
push some buttons here. Okay, we're good to go. I'll get the music playing now.
Already. Let's cue the music, Justin. I'm going to draw 5 random Office episodes out of the hat, and we're going to rank them. Only seasons 1 and 2 tonight, guys. We're going to expand in the future, but we'll keep it a little.
Keep it simple
today. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Here we go. In the hat. Oh, I already dropped one, guys.
Oh man, this is amateur hour.
Yeah, I know exactly.
The production
interference.
Yeah,
hit the table.
This doesn't happen on his own podcast.
Right.
It's when it comes back on ours.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Vinny, we might need. You're the office expert, so in case we're missing some points, you might just have to refresh us on some of them. All right. Okay, so.
What do we got here?
The Secret, Season 2, Episode 13, right there.
Okay.
You guys remember The Secret? Jim's Secret?
Refresh my memory a little bit on that one. I remember the basic overall, but not the specifics.
Yes, so that is, and Vinny, correct me if I'm wrong here, but that is when Michael Jim has confided in Michael about his...
The episode before, yep.
About his crush on
the booze cruise?
On Pam.
Yep.
And Michael cannot keep the secret pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Right, keep it going here. Next one. We got Dwight's speech. Season 2, episode
that's
17.
A good one. That's a good one. All right.
This is great for you guys listening.
He's unraveling the paper now. The Booze Cruise.
Booze Cruise. All right.
Season 2, episode 11. Woo! All right. 2 more to go, guys.
All right, number 4. Here we go.
Good one here.
What do we got?
The Alliance.
The Alliance. Oh boy.
Episode 4. What's that one again, Vinny? Does that one Dwight joins forces with Jim on that?
Downsizing, yes.
Downsizing, yes.
Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, guys. Diversity Day.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Okay, those are the Slime 5, ladies and gentlemen. So just to recap here, we have The Secret, we have Dwight's Speech, Booze Cruise, The Alliance, and Diversity Day. So we will start with, we'll go 5 to 1 from least favorite to favorite. Again, we qualify saying by least favorite. By no means do we dislike it, but we do like some episodes more than others. So if you guys want to take a second right here, I still work on mine right here.
Take a second and rearrange them. Man, these are all good up. I mean, I don't know.
Does anyone have their list finished right now?
Not yet. I'm almost done.
I'm thinking.
I would say there's not really any bad episodes until you get to like season 8 when Michael leaves, and then I feel like the show just goes off a cliff.
I did like a few.
I like Robert California.
Robert California just creeped me out so much.
Really quick. I did like some episodes with Kathy Bates too.
Yes, I did like those too.
Yeah, some of, just not all of them, but definitely a few of them. I thought she was really good.
I feel like Andy being a manager, I hated what they did with his character.
Awful.
He was awful.
I know we've talked about that before. Yeah,
so sporadic. And then also the plot line where they go down to Florida to build like the triangular tablet. That just did not resonate with me. I thought that was just kind of silly. But all right, are you guys ready for your
No, I'm missing one episode. Sorry.
All right,
what do you need?
The Alliance, Booze Cruise, Dwight's Speech,
and Diversity Day.
Diversity Day. That's it.
And the secret. Yeah. Oh man, guys, I keep flip flopping mine. Be easier if we were doing the Bond movie, guys. Well, it'd be easier for one of us. But, good job, Vinny. All right, guys, I have my list. I mean, I could easily change it, but I'll just kind of go with my my gut right here.
So we start with number 5.
We'll start with number 5. I get, like I said, least out of the 5 that we drew today. Vinny, you're the Office guy. Why don't you lead us off here?
I'll go with The Secret is my number 5.
Okay.
I mean, it was a solid episode. I'm drawing a blank on what else happened during the episodes besides Michael thinking he's Jim's best friend.
Yes.
Took him out to dinner and Toby, Michael, you can't do that. Well, Jim's having a hard time because he's in love with someone he works with.
Yeah. I think, doesn't he? And he says it to Kelly too, doesn't he? I can't remember.
No, he's telling it to Toby.
That's right.
Because he's like someone he's in love with who's getting married, and Kelly hears Pam, and he's like, dude. And then he tells Jim he's sorry, and he's like, oh, Toby made me tell him.
Yeah. There's so many times in The Office where you can see Michael is so desperately like misunderstanding just common things that happen in everyday life, and he's overanalyzing, like, oh, Jim told me this, so he must be my best friend now. Like he wouldn't just tell that to anybody in a weak moment, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Greg, what's your number 5?
Like you said, I don't know, guys. I mean, this is tough, but I went with The Alliance.
That's same here. That's what I went with too.
So mainly because I wasn't the biggest season 1 fan.
Same here.
But I'm struggling to remember. Even when I drew the name, I'm struggling to remember everything that went on in this episode. I mean, they were talking about downsides and everything. Is that when
that was Meredith's birthday party?
That's Michael right. Okay.
Make everybody happy. So they
and it was like a month away
party.
Though, right? It wasn't like a month away from her birthday.
I think it was Ryan's actual birthday. And he's like,
that's
someone's
right.
like, isn't it your birthday? He's like, don't say anything. I'm pretty sure that happened. Yeah, because he's like, no, I don't want any of this going on.
Right.
No, now I feel bad. But
that's all right. That's all right. That's gosh, that episode came out in 2005. Can you believe it's been that long since season 1? Good Lord. Yeah, that was my number 5 too. I think it was a good episode, but like Greg said, there's nothing for me anyway. There's nothing super memorable that like is a callback that I immediately think about that. You know what I mean? That's just kind of where I'm at with that one. So
you guys don't ever think when you're eating ice cream cake that people that are lactose intolerant just are missing out?
No,
I think he tells Meredith, "Oh God, if I was lactose intolerant, I'd kill myself."
that's their problem. That's not my problem.
He wanted ice cream cake. I think she's lactose intolerant. Yeah, it's not for her. It's for us.
See, I think of the day where I think of the episode where Jim acts as the manager and tries to roll all the birthdays into one. It's like the quintessential birthday episode. It is your birthday. That's the one I think of when it comes to birthdays.
No, that's not even that one.
That's right.
No, that's Kelly's birthday when
that's
they
Kelly's birthday.
Kelly, yeah.
Yep. That's right. Where they offer her the little chiclet on the you could sleep watch 1 hour of TV or sleep under the table. Yeah.
This is your theme. You don't hear a theme, you see a theme.
Exactly. All right, Vinny, what'd you put for number 4?
Number 4, I have Dwight's speech.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I think it was good. Just comparing it to all the other ones. All I can think of is Dwight's. A lot of that was funny. I thought there was going to be more, like a call to the speeches Jim gave him. I thought there was going to be more,
more like fascist rhetoric from Mussolini and stuff. Yeah,
but Dwight rose to the occasion. Michael, of course, was very uncomfortable when he was trying to speak.
He's doing. There. I'm going to pretend to be the guy from Police Academy. Yeah, this is the guy doing. I'm like, oh God, and you could see him sweating all over his
so
suit.
Bad. Yeah.
And then I love when he's sitting in the bar and he's like, well, I entertained the guy that entertained 2,000 people. So what's that say about me? Like, he just can't let it go. Always has to bring it back on himself. Little narcissistic, but very good. Greg, what about your number 4?
Same for me.
Dwight's speech.
Same for me. Okay. Dwight's speech. Yeah, I really do like that episode. Yeah. I just happen to like some of the others a little bit more.
I do love. Is that the same? Okay, now you'll have to bear with me. Is that the same episode where Dwight's like they used to give you like Manager of the Year plaques, and he's got 2, and one of them is a plaque, and one of them's like a paperweight instead? I can't remember if that's the same episode or maybe that was Michael that did that. I can't remember, but I don't know. They're all blurred. I've seen that first like 6 seasons so many times. They're all blurred together at this point. My number 4 was The Secret. Good episode. I feel like it's so cringy. Just, if you were to experience that in an office situation where now everyone you work with knows, I feel like it would take you right back to like middle school or high school, and having to relive that, like someone knows your crush, would just be a nightmare for Jim. And just the way he plays it off, that it was, that was old. That was, a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yep. So that's my number 4. All right. Now we're in the top 3. Vinny, what is your number 3?
The Alliance.
The Alliance.
I thought that was good. Just everything with Dwight moving the water cooler over to his desk, so people, because that's where all the scuttlebutt from the office talk happens, and so he needs to know who's being downsized and stuff like that. So moving the water cooler over there, Dwight ending up going into a box and going down there, and as she's on the phone, having a fake phone call, he's like poking holes in the box so you can hear better.
Yeah,
it falls over. Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
That is. Oh, that's a good
one. Then that's the one that ended with Dwight dyeing his hair black to go to other branches and spy on the other branches.
I forgot about that.
I totally forget.
I totally forgot about that one. Holy cow. Oh man. I need to go back and watch season 1 and 2 more. I think that's what I think this is telling me. Greg, what about your number 3?
I'm going to go with The Secret. And I don't know if did you guys touch on the alternate storyline that was going on when, I believe that's when Dwight was like checking in on Oscar too, right?
Oh,
because because that's when because that was like a 2-part because that's when we kind of revealed our Oscar's secret when I think it's revealed that he's a homosexual.
Right.
So he's out, investigating. I think he sees him ice skating. Is his boyfriend, Gil? He says his roommate, but his boyfriend really, yeah. And then
totally oblivious.
Yeah, he's like, I found something about him, and then he kind of like blackmails him, cash in a favor of his time, his choosing, and they're all watching. He's sitting between them during a movie at the end.
Right. At the end,
he said, "I found another thing about Oscar today too. He was lying about being sick or something like that.
That was
completely oblivious. Yeah.
That was the one where they had spring cleaning, and Michael calls them. We could use that famous cleaning of yours. And Ryan just gives him like a weird look, like, dude, you can't say that.
Right.
He's looking up his stuff on WebMD and everything.
Yeah,
good checkout. Not the first time WebMD would be used on that show either, which is great. I love that. I can't remember what episode it is where he's like, "Oh, I have stomach cramps, and it keeps happening when you come in the room, Dwight. Oh, did you eat? Food containing animal waste?
Food with animal waste or something?
I don't know. It could be. All right. My number 3 is Diversity Day. That was such a good for a first season episode. That was a really good one.
The second episode of the series.
I just love when Kelly just slaps Michael across the face.
Yeah.
It's. And I've listened to their the Office Ladies podcast where they talk about how like gradually Kelly becomes a totally different character into season 2. Like it happens so gradual you don't even notice it. But then
because she was just writing on the show then and just kind of like standing in a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
and her clothing was kind of just like very like bland colored, like not noticeable. And then obviously it became much different once she got her character kind of changed a little bit. But that him with all the name tags on and trying to act out all these different ethnicities, which God, I can't imagine what would happen if you did that in a real workplace, how badly that would go for you.
Or if that aired today again or something.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. That would not
that was
end
a different time when that came out.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So that is my number 3, Diversity Day. Vinny, what is your number 2?
Booze Cruise.
Booze Cruise.
Booze Cruise, yeah.
That was a solid
same
one.
as mine.
yeah. Just Michael comparing, just trying to tie the Booze Cruise into like some, like, was it inspirational speech that he was supposed to be giving?
Right, yeah. Try to make himself the captain. You remember the captain was actually Rob Riggle. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's just, going on, there's a whole debate. It's like, well, I'm the real captain. Yes, but I'm the captain of the office.
Yeah.
And
he's
just shut down the entire episode.
It's so awkward.
And I love when, isn't Rob Riggle like down below with like, I can't remember who he's with.
Meredith.
That's right.
Meredith,
went up to the
comes out with
quarters.
She came out topless. The life vest just over her. No shirt on.
And in between that and him coming back, was it Michael that says, the boat is capsizing. The boat. You see somebody.
Who do you save first?
Right.
You save sails.
Yeah. And then someone jumps through one of the windows on the side, and it's like, oh God, what a mess.
And after that, he's zip tied and put in
the brig.
Yeah. And Dwight's steering the boat the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he is from the front. Was that with the wheel in the front, right?
Yeah, like for the kids and everything.
One. Yeah. Oh, that's
also when Jim did finally reveal, kind of like the first person he told about, his feelings for Pam was Michael.
That's true.
Yeah. And Michael was actually pretty wholesome to him. So not many moments.
Michael
like
actually gave him some good advice and was inspirational to him.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things I liked so much about The Office was there were these characters that always did everything wrong, but then there'd always be these little glimpses of like where you could definitely see they were decent individuals. Like there's an episode when they weren't trying. Like there's an episode, I think it's when something's going on with Pam and Jim, or Roy is, treating her poorly, but she still has feelings for Pam, and she's crying in the stairwell, and then Dwight comes and kind of comforts her.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy because Dwight is not that character, but you can see, like, even when he's not trying, like you guys said.
And then he asks her if she's PMSing hard.
Yes. Yeah. And he's still really sweet about it, but just totally off base. Yeah. But he's trying.
Yeah.
Greg, you got any more to say about the Booze Cruise for your number 2?
I think Amy Adams was still an
that's
unknown
right.
Then,
that's right.
I believe playing I forget, is it Katie that
Katie,
played
Purse Girl,
Jim's
right?
girlfriend, and then of course of course, David Denman, who played Roy, big part in that episode, who's like a super cool guy. It's so weird to listen to that Office Ladies podcast and you hear like them Jenna Fisher and David Denman talk, and they're like so friendly and everything.
Yeah,
kind of shows how good actors they are. How a polar opposites they were on the show, but then here they're really cool in real life for everything. So I always find that interesting.
Anytime I see him, I just automatically think of him as the wide receiver in The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. That's all I can see. That's all I can see. And then I see how young he looks. And I'm like, oh God, time is going.
That's very true. He's that to some people, and then Roy to the those are kind of like his two defining roles.
Yeah, and then him and Jim together in 13 Hours was very interesting too.
Yes, that was
yeah. They're like friends in real life.
They're friends, yeah. There was a video, I think it was on Twitter or Instagram, of them at like a Bruins Blues game, and he's like, oh, I think it was what's Jim's real name? I'm drawing a blank now.
John Krasinski.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Where he's filming, he's like, hey, Jenna, I wanted to bring you to the game, but you wouldn't return my calls. I know you're a Blues fan and not a Bruins fan. And then he pans the camera over.
Yeah.
He's like, so I called someone else instead. And then Roy, David Denman, sits down right next to him and goes, oh, hi. And then they cut the video off.
Then he does like the eye roll
funny.
and everything. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Good episode. My number 2 was Dwight's speech. I love just the banging on the wall, banging on he's pounding the podium, the plight of the worker and all this stuff, and screaming about it. It just cracks me up every time. And him also getting nervous about it too, which is so odd for him, but I think it was cool too that he got like the enormous applause.
Yeah,
too,
like it actually.
I thought that was pretty neat. That everyone kind of took his side right there.
Yeah,
so.
he's the day we will live in infamy when we as the salespeople take back, and he's going on and on, sounding like Mussolini.
He's got a chant that everybody recites.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
Angela's there filming in secret.
Right. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about
that. So that is my number 2. All right. Our number 1, Vinny, what's your number 1?
Diversity Day. That one was just, that one was so
It is
funny.
so good.
I think every time I have spaghetti, I do pull Kevin. I go, how about some spaghetti? after Michael tells everybody to stop.
Right.
Or when, Pam and Dwight are together and he goes, okay, do me something really obvious so I can get it right away. And she goes, well, if I'm being completely like bad about this, you would probably not be a good driver. Oh man, am I a woman?
Against all stereotypes that are very untrue, you might not be the best driver. This was Asian. Or whatever it was. Yeah, something like that. So
that's such a good
then
episode.
what was it? Angela's was Jamaican.
Yes, that's the one I was.
Kevin's like, do you want to get high? No, I think you do, man.
I think you want to do, man. So, just headband. What was Michael's again? What did he have?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Because he had a dream,
right?
That everybody was gonna love Diversity Day.
Then Mr. Brown.
Yeah, if that's his real name.
That's his real name. Then he's downsized, off to the side or whatever. It's like, Michael, you and I both know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So that was my number 1 too.
That's your number 1.
Like that is such a great episode.
Or the pledge that he signs and then rips up, and then he's like, I have sound mind and heart, and he rips it up and he goes, well, those are actually good points, but we don't need a pledge. We're not the Girl Scouts.
Yeah. Oh man, that's too good. My number 1 we've already talked about was Booze Cruise. I just love that episode. Whenever all the office workers are together outside of the office for like a get together or a work function, always is just hysterical to me. Whether it's the company picnic where Michael lets everyone know that one of the branches is being shut down, but
Michael and Holly,
thing.
They're only worried about their Christmas presents.
Yes.
Oh, that was a great line.
That's a great one. Yeah. But so seeing them out on the cruise, there's a lot of good one-liners. Just seeing, Meredith does her wacky thing. Kevin, Kevin being out there. I think, isn't there a scene where they're all, he's trying to get them to go on the dance floor with the limbo and
Michael's dance, doing a weird motivational dance.
Yes. And the fact that he keeps like referring back to the corporate lady that came to observe this whole thing. And it's like, this is going horrible. And she's stuck watching this whole thing, which I think Jim then calls her and asks her out on a date at one point, but you never hear what happened to her.
I was going to ask. I remember that, but did she never, we never
came back again,
did we? Yeah.
No, because he
leaves a voicemail, right?
And he's like, I used the corporate directory to send you a voicemail, but if you're reading this, if you're listening to this, I also sent you an email. So wow, yeah, that's a lot. And then he's like, all right, goodbye. And then you just hear Kelly, because I think that day that was the episode where Michael's carpet
in his office.
Yes.
Yeah, Todd Packer pooped on his
the carpet. Yeah, that was the name of the episode.
Did you get the present I left you?
Yeah.
No. What was it wrapped in? And Pam's like pointing to his office. Oh. So and then you just see Kelly flip out when she's like, oh my God, Jim, you that was a big stepper. I can't believe you called her.
You just asked a girl out.
Oh, yeah. And not through text, So that was my. How did I get back? Booze Cruise. That was my Booze Cruise. That was my number one. Sorry, kind of went on a tangent there, but that is my number one. So, that was.
So, how'd you guys like your first Slime 5 draw?
I like it.
I liked it.
I like it.
It was good.
Sometimes a little tricky. You kind of quickly have to get your thoughts together.
You do.
To get the ranking going. So
right.
I think if we do another 2 seasons, we should probably give ourselves time to watch those 2 seasons.
Yes.
So,
or just at least kind of recap and reimmerse yourself. And
stupid Peacock. I used to watch we just watched it on repeat on Netflix all the time when it was on Netflix, but. What are you gonna do? I bought the box set off Amazon for like $30 on Prime Day a couple of years ago.
Nice.
So I still have it. I need to just start watching.
There's just something about popping in the DVD, right?
Streaming.
It's tougher.
Spoiled.
That's even like playing video games that you have downloaded on the console as opposed to having to get up and put the disc in. God, I'm getting lazy. So I mean, I guess do you guys, Vinny, anything else you want to bring up about baseball, about The Office, anything in general you'd like to part with before we wrap up?
Yeah, I will just add a quick thing about the Cubs payroll. People said that they don't spend and they don't. That's just a bunch of malarkey. In 2017, they were number 6 in total payroll. But I looked at it, payroll per player, they were number 4, the rank. They were 23 million under the luxury tax, quite a bit. They could have maybe added somebody there. 2018, they were 4th. They were 2nd for payroll per player, and they were 14 million under luxury tax. 2019, they were number 2 in total payroll, number 3 in payroll per player, and 8 million over the luxury tax. And 2020, they were the 4th highest payroll, the 5th highest payroll per player, and 19.5 under luxury tax.
So, you said they were over 1 year? In 19?
2019. And that was the year they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs. Wow, I forgot they were over that year.
Yeah, they were over. So in 2020, they cut back to get under the luxury tax. But I mean, they were 19.5 under the luxury tax. I feel like they could have signed Nick Castellanos for a contract,
that's
maybe,
what I
but
want.
I don't know. I'm sure maybe Tom. Well, is that when they also came out in 1920? Is that when they came out with Marquee?
I think so. I think coming into the 20 season, wasn't it?
Yeah. So maybe they needed some of that money they didn't want to go over the luxury tax again, and he was upset about not making the playoffs and being over the luxury tax when you had this beautiful marquee to roll out. So
I have marquee. I have marquee. Tom, what's the issue? I'm trying to help you out here, man.
Thanks, Greg.
Jeez.
I was gonna say the White Sox fan on the podcast has access to marquee, but the 2 Cubs fans don't. How
what is wrong with
that?
The world? What is wrong?
Well, I don't have cable, so
yeah, that's true. But like
I'm cheap.
A lot of people who do have cable don't have
it. Yeah, so. Like having your own TV network in LA was a disaster from what I've read. Having a TV network in Houston for the Astros was a disaster. The only time it's worked is for the Yankees, and the Yes Network has been around for decades. Like I remember that when we were kids. So there was this
idiot on Twitter. I think it was some Cardinals fan And I tweet him back because he put out something like, "Oh, what is wrong with Cub fans? Don't they see this season isn't working? Their players are not going to come back. Might as well get something from them." He's like, "Don't Cubs fans actually watch their team?" And that's exactly what I reply. I'm like, "Actually, they have a network that no one has, so no, they'd like to, but they can't watch their team." So
I have listened to so many more games this year than I think I have in probably 15 years.
Yeah,
I used to always listen to them.
I think Pat Hughes and Ron Cooper are still on the air. Gee, good God.
So, all right. By the way, I just looked up Nick Castellanos has an opt-out in his clause, his contract. So if he does come back and play third, that would be great.
He's not a great third baseman.
No, but I'll take him in the outfield too.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Maybe we can trade one of our prospects and dump Hayward.
Package.
You'd have to sell Hayward as a motivational speaker at this point, not a right fielder.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I think that's the pitch you have to make.
Can we give him the information that Jim gave to Dwight so he can start giving speeches like that?
Right.
I think doesn't Hayward and Gavin Sheets have the same amount of home runs or something? Or they're like one apart. So
I don't know.
I was looking at that. I don't think there's no power with Hayward right there.
No.
Oh my God.
They spent the money just on the wrong fucking guy.
Yeah.
I would take Alfonso Soriano in the outfield over Hayward. I think that's a hot take.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I know Alfonso Soriano was horrible at fielding though.
Hey, Cody Hoyer is 12 now. Sorry, Soriano. So
I guess he's not going to be retired on the flagpole.
I love Cody Hoyer. I miss him, but he's going to be good. Might be a closer for you guys. Keep an eye on him.
I think he came in the ninth.
We didn't use him right. We didn't use him right here. Tony misused him this year. So I mean that's why his numbers don't look so great. He's going to be just fine for you guys. So
he's a setup man for us tonight.
Okay. He's going to be a guy for you. I promise. So
all right,
keep an eye on him. He's going to be cool.
We'll take it. All right. Well, on that note, just real quick, by the time you're listening to this episode, we are probably interviewing Michael Finney of the 1893 Chicago Columbian Exposition Project, where he wrote a book full of photos that were recovered from the actual exposition. Columbian Exposition. And then also he did a documentary, which you can buy both on Amazon. We'll be interviewing him tomorrow night, Thursday. We got a bunch of stuff we'll talk about. So all of us, well, 2/3 of us being from, I know I feel really bad. People from Chicago, I think, hate when I say I'm from Chicago, even though I grew up in the suburbs. So
you're technically Oak Lawn. Your address did not say Chicago, did it?
No, but like I literally could have, spit. That's how close. Well,
you're right. You're right there on the south side. See,
south side.
I guess I'm considered northwest side and 60646 right there.
Okay.
So just barely in
hanging
the city boundaries right there.
But so we'll be talking about some of the architecture, some of the buildings that are still there, how they got people to the World's Fair. That was the first time people saw the Ferris wheel and electricity in the United States, pretty much for the most part. So we'll get into that. We'll try and talk a little bit about H.H. Holmes, who was the first American serial killer who was preying on victims during the World's Fair, which is creepy for a whole other set of reasons. You can actually tour where he lived too. I believe his murder mansion, so to speak, it's been torn down, but it's in Inglewood now. So we'll be doing that on Thursday, and then next week we have the podcast with the guys from where they talk about Disney. Yes, thank you. So we'll be doing that. Disney on the Rocks. Thank you, Vinny. I got to get my brain back. I got to go back to work in like 3.5 weeks. I got to start massaging a little bit.
Justin Summer is coming.
Summer brains really.
I knew he was seeming a little different. But.
Yeah, I got to be responsible and adult like now. So
just a little bit. Don't overdo it.
No. So that's all we got. If you want to reach out to us, send us comments, questions, tweets, you can email us at baseballwhatever@gmail.com, facebook.com/baseballwhatever, or tweet us at Baseball and What. You can find video versions of all of our stuff on YouTube by searching Baseball and Whatever, and we are always available on all your podcast networks, whether you're an Android, Apple, Spotify, or whatever you use, we are there. So on that note, we will see you guys next week. Thanks again for listening, and take care.
Good night, everyone.
See ya.